Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will begin our video with the introduction to Occupational Health Guideline and Poison Act 1952. So for introduction, Occupational Health Guidelines are established to protect workers and the surrounding community from health hazards that may arise in the workplace. This guideline addresses various risks including biological hazards, mosquito control, psychosocial issue, drug and alcohol use issue, stress and workplace violence. By implementing preventive measures and control strategies, these guidelines aim to promote a safe, healthy and productive working environment while reducing the spread of health risks beyond the workplace. So for the next part, I will explain the Occupational Health Guideline truly for the prevention for violence and stress at workplace. We can define this as hazard arising from work, organization, job design, and social relationship at work. Any act of aggression, abuse, or threat occurring in the workplace. For the act and guideline, employer must ensure a safe working environment, require policies against violence and harassment, encourage reporting mechanism and disciplinary action, protect employee dignity, safety and morals. So we can conclude that we need to ensure the mental of the workers need to be safe. For the next one is the drugs and alcohol at the workplace. We can define this as risk caused by substance misuse that impair judgment, coordination and safety. For the act and the guideline role, employer must prevent unsafe behavior at work, support drug-free working policies, encourage testing, education, rehabilitation programs, protect co-workers and the public from accident and injuries.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Shazwan. So here I want to present you about the weakness of the guideline. So the weakness of the guideline is Occupational Health Guideline play an important role in protection workers' health. There are several weaknesses. One major weakness is that these guidelines are not legally enforceable like NR. This means employers may not face legal punishment if they choose not to follow them. Compliance depends heavily on the awareness and responsibility of employers. Some employers may focus more on productivity and cost saving rather than workers' health. In addition, monitoring and enforcement are limited, especially in small and medium-sized industry. Psychosocial hazards such as stress, bullying, and mental health issues are also difficult to identify major because these hazards are not always visible. They are sometimes ignored as a result. Workers may continue to suffer in silence without proper support.
The second case focuses on psychosocial hazard in the workplace, particularly stress and burnout. Employees were exposed to long working hours and heavy workloads over an extended period. There was also no stress management support such as counseling services, workload training, or adequate rest periods. As a result, employees began to experience burnout, including mental fatigue, low motivation, decreased performance, and emotional exhaustion. This case highlights the need for psychosocial hazard management in the workplace. Employees should ensure reasonable working hours, provide mental health support, and promote work-life balance to maintain employee well-being and productivity.
Okay, so for the next part is case 3, alcohol-related accident. In this case, a factory worker report to work under the influence of alcohol. The worker judgment and reaction time were impaired, which is lead to the poor decision making while operating machinery. As a result, a workplace accident occurred, causing injury and damage to the equipment. So the company did not enforce a strict drug and alcohol policy, and there was no regular monitoring or awareness program. This case show the importance of occupational health guidelines in controlling drug and alcohol use at the workplace. By implementing clear policy, conducting awareness training, and enforce rules consistently, employer can prevent accident and protect both worker and the community of the company.
So for the next part, I will explain about the Poison Act 1952. The Poison Act 1952, or Act 366 in Malaysia, is the primary law regulating the entire life cycle of poison, controlling in the import, manufacture, sales, storage, transport and use with strict rules for licensing, labeling and recording, enforced by the Pharmaceutical Service Program, which is Ministry of Health, and has seen significant amendments like in 2022 to soften penalties and adapt to modern healthcare. For the key regulation, we need to regulate sale, possession, import and use of poison, protect public health and safety. Poison classified into A and B group, and also has 28 groups, and also only licensed person may sell or supply poisons.
So here some weaknesses of the Poison Act 1952. So the Poison 1952 is important in controlling poisonous substance. One of its main weaknesses is the illegal sale of poison, especially through online platform and unlicensed seller. This makes it difficult to control access to dangerous chemical. In addition, some users lack proper knowledge about a safe handling, storage and disposal of poison. Enforcement can also be challenging due to limited inspection and manpower, which may lead to non-compliance with safety requirements. Okay, for the next part is case study under the Poison Act 1952. One real case under the Poison Act 1952 is involved. A 66-year-old man in Kota Kinabalu was charged possessing a controlled poison called mitragynine, which is released under the schedule of the Act. The accused was found with 1050 ml of the substance without a legal authorization. The magistrate court imposed a fine of Rm 4,500 or an alternative jail term for 4 months upon the conviction under Section 13 of the Poison Act 1952. This case shows how the law is enforced to control dangerous substance and penalize the authorization position, helping to protect public health and safety.
For this case, the hazard involved is chemical hazard, which is regulated under the Poison Act 1952. At the construction site, hazardous chemicals such as solvents, pesticides or industrial chemicals were used and stored without proper control. These substances were not clearly labelled and some were kept in inappropriate containers, increasing the risk of accidental exposure. There were no proper safety measures such as secure storage, control access or worker training on safe handling of poisonous substance. As a result, workers were exposed to toxic chemicals which could cause poisoning, skin irritation, respiratory problems or long-term health effects. This case shows the importance of complying with the Poison Act 1952, where employers must ensure proper labeling, storage, handling and supervision of poisonous substances to protect workers' health and prevent chemical-related incidents at the workplace.
So, how do this act and law protecting community? The Occupational Health Guideline reduce mental health problem through psychological risk management, and it also prevent drug and alcohol-related accidents at the beyond the workplace, and also control work-related stress to improve social and family well-being. And lastly, it prevents workplace violence and protect public safety, and public promote safe, healthy and productive communities. For the Poison Act 1952, it can control the access and sale of poison to prevent misuse.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nick Amirul Irfan bin Nick Muhammad Faris. Today I want to talk about our recommendation. First, we suggest it to increasing awareness among both employers and workers so everyone understand workplace health risks and their responsibilities. Next, proper training on health hazard control should be provided to help prevent accidents and illnesses. We also recommend improving monitoring and compliance to ensure safety rules are followed consistently. Lastly, promoting a healthy workplace culture will encourage safe behavior and improve overall well-being at work. Next, for the Poison Act 1952, our recommendation focus on 3 key areas. First, enforcement shall be strengthened through regular inspection to prevent illegal handling and sale of poisons. Second, workers should receive proper training on the safe handling, storage, and disposal of a poisonous substance. Lastly, only licensed and authorized persons shall be allowed to manage poison to reduce misuse and poisoning incidents. This measure help improving safety and protect public health in Malaysia. In conclusion, both the Occupational Health Guidelines and the Poison Act 1952 play an important role in protecting workers, the community, and the environment in Malaysia. The Occupational Health Guidelines focus on preventing biological, psychosocial, and behavioral health hazards such as infection disease, mosquito-borne illness, workplace stress, and substance abuse and violence at work. On the other hand, the Poison Act 1952 ensures the safe control, handling, and distribution of poisonous substances to reduce the risk of poisoning and chemical-related incidents. Together, this law helps create safer workplace to protect public health and promote a strong culture of prevention and responsibility across all industries. That's all from us. Thank you.